Hi guys, Blaze here. Welcome to a rather overdue second part of my August anime pickups. Here we have From the New World. I picked up both parts once part 2 came out, which came out this month. Extremely awesome series. I've watched this one already. I had to watch it pretty much as soon as I got it. I knew there's a lot about this series that I'd heard that I knew I was going to like it. I ended up absolutely adoring it. It's a fantastic sci-fi slash fantasy dark themed show with some nice supernatural and horror elements. It's so surprising. There's so many things that are revealed in this show as you watch it that the way the story unravels is almost genius. Like it's one of every single time you think you've got this story nailed down, it introduces something else. Like every single time you think, okay, I know where this story is going, it will suddenly just just suddenly introduce a whole new element. You're like, holy crap! Like this just got even more interesting. Like every single time you feel like it's got to its limit, it's hit the ceiling of what this show is capable of telling. It ends up introducing something else. It's an extremely good story. It starts off relatively slow. Like there's a little, you get some unsettling, like you get the feeling that something's not quite right, and then there's an episode 4. Basically, the whole plot, the entire history of this show. It's 1,000 years in the future, like a post-apocalyptic esque setting, I guess, where all technology has pretty much been wiped out. It's to do with people that have psychic powers, essentially telepathy type stuff, against the people that don't, or whatever. I won't go further into it, but and basically, like in episode 4, like everything gets laid down, and you're just like the amount of potential this show is laying down for itself, and the amount of potential disappointment. Because when you start listening to this thing, it's like the plot is basically explained to you, just like, oh my god, like this show has so much potential. And the best thing about it was, even when that was happening, I was like, okay, I can sort of see where this show is going to go. It's going to be a fun ride. But no, like it just continuously introduced new elements to make it more interesting, and it has a fantastic conclusion, amazingly satisfying. Right up to the end, I was still not 100% certain of how things were going. I did predict the one major reveal at the end, but that was it. But yeah, amazing show. You have to see it. Okay, so next we have Watamote, which is also another amazing show, and I imagine that most of you have already seen it. I had to get this the second it came out. One of the best comedy series I've ever seen. It's absolutely hilarious as we follow Tomoko, who's an outcast who just wants to be popular, wants to have friends, and just wants to essentially, I guess, be happy at high school, and just the fact that how everything goes wrong in her attempts to be just that. And it's very it can be quite difficult to watch, because if anyone's ever been in like a similar situation where you're perhaps a slight outcast and stuff, and there's lots of like similar feelings. Like if you ever if you've ever like had like social anxiety and just like not done very well in social situations with strangers and stuff, there'd be a lot of stuff that you can watch this and say, I felt the same way. But just watching the way it crumbles for Tomoko, the way that things fall apart, and the embarrassing situations she gets in, it's a really, really, really funny series, and definitely recommended. I absolutely loved it. And there's this part in it where my favorite part in it is when she buys a webcam to like do like an online chat show, like try and be popular that way and just talk to people. And there's this moment when she just plugs in the webcam and she's just like looking at it, and she's just got these giant frog eyes. And yeah, I can't wait to re-experience that moment when I watch it. This version is dubbed. They've dubbed it from Sentai Filmworks. Very interested to see what the dub will be like. I thought obviously the original Japanese, I thought the performance was pretty much outstanding. The way that Tomoko grumbles to herself and the way she talks, and I'm quite interested to see how that plays in English, and if the English VA, who I don't know who it is, but if she did a good job or not. I'm sure she did. I'm sure people who like dubs will enjoy it. I like dubs, so I'm hoping I'll enjoy it for sure. So yeah, that's Watamote. Like fantastic comedy, definitely worth seeing and definitely worth buying. You will not regret it. It's a hilarious show. Up next, we have something that's a lot less funny. This is Level E. It's another comedy series. This is the Funimation limited edition release that recently got the price reduction. because the limited edition hadn't sold, so they wanted to get rid of it, probably so they can put out a save edition at some point. So yeah, they put down the price for this, sort of like they did with Princess Jellyfish. But unlike Princess Jellyfish is an amazing series, really really good. This one is not. I just didn't enjoy it. I thought that the comedy was really just not well done, and I don't think I watched it dubbed, but I don't think the dub's the problem. I thought the dub was perfectly acted fine. The problem is the timing and the pace of the show. Like the punchlines, there wasn't really any punchlines. There was zero slapstick, which I feel is like not a good idea when you're doing a comedy as zany as this one. It's like an alien prince lands on Earth. There's lots of crazy stuff that happens. The show doesn't really have a focus. Like there's sort of a main character and there sort of isn't. Like it just goes here, there, and everywhere. It just tells all these little episodic stories. It's based off a manga that's done by the same guy that did Hunter x Hunter, and I felt like it was just a lot of short stories that are set in the same place with like just reoccurring characters. But the lack of focus really hurt the comedy because you didn't really get to know the characters. The pace of the comedy was slow. Each joke just took too long to tell. It felt long-winded. Like the there was no, like I said, there was no beat to the jokes. There was no punchlines really. Zero slapstick, like I was saying, which I think is a bad thing for an anime of this type. It just didn't work for me at all. So I was quite disappointed with it, but it wasn't very expensive, so I don't mind owning it at all. Okay, so next up we have a movie on Blu-ray from Sentai Filmworks. I'm going to try and say this. Loops Garros? I don't know. The motion picture. It's a production IG film. It sounds pretty interesting, although the plot initially sounds quite generic. Guess what? The human population has been heavily downsized due to a terrible virus, and everyone communicates via computers and has no contact in the real world. I know it kind of I know it's not exactly the same as another thing necessarily, but basically the virus downsized everybody, the population. I mean, so yeah, it's kind of a bit generic in that sense, but it sounds kind of cool because basically there's a group of girls that talk online and they want to have real contact because no one really has any real contact with anyone thanks to this virus and any other creatures for that matter. And the series of murders start happening, and then the plot kind of goes from there, so far as I'm aware. So yeah, I'm really interested in that. Next up we have Yu Yu Shiki. This is a slice of life moe comedy. This was recommended to me from Rock Itachi. He said it was sort of like a bit zany. I had enough interest from what he said in it to check it out. It's sort of like Lucky Star, and the cover's quite misleading because it has 6 girls on it. The ones at the bottom, the one with the blonde, the pink, and the purple hair, those were basically the ones on the menu in the background too. They're the actual main characters. It wasn't particularly that good, honestly. It was fine. Like there were some funny jokes. The girl with pink hair is really zany, really crazy, and there's some fun slapstick stuff with her, and her facial expressions are really good. And it's more like Lucky Star. It's more about the dialogue, and like I said, it was all right, but it was one of the weaker of shows of its type that I've watched. But the girl with the pink hair carried the show for me. She was pretty funny. But yeah, this is not as good as other shows of its type that I've seen, like A Channel, etc. So yeah, that was Yu Yu Shiki. Next up, we got one I haven't watched yet. This is Love Lab. Well, I say I haven't watched. I watched 2 episodes of it last year while it was on. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year while it was on. About a student council president that has like she's supposed to be like a super cool girl, I think, and it turns out she's like quite weak and overly romantic and like stuff like that. And I believe I really don't know much about it even after watching the 2 episodes. I've sort of forgotten most of it already, but I had enough interest to wanting to buy it. The cover for this release is really cool. But yeah, student council president that has a bunch of girls. They all end up meeting in the room and like they're supposed to help each other like fall in love because I think one of the more tomboy aggressive girl is supposed to be like a love expert or something, like, but jokingly, like she didn't mean to get into that situation but does, and the student council president ends up relying on her. I don't know, it seemed like another moe comedy. I don't want to get too many of these things. I actually don't have too many of these things, but this one sounded pretty cool. I watched the opening 2 episodes last year. I thought it was quite funny. So yeah, I decided to pick up this Blu-ray, especially since, like I said, the cover for this is really cool, and it was cheap. Like, it's a subtitle only release. It was definitely worth it for me to get it on Blu-ray. Subtitle. I'm so glad that Sentai are doing subtitle Blu-rays now rather than only having them on DVD. I think it's really cool. Okay, so next we have Love Live School Idol Project from NIS America Premium Edition on Blu-ray. I got a copy. This thing has sold out through its pre-orders, which is unheard of from NIS America. Some NIS America releases have certainly sold out fast, but never through their pre-orders, which I think is crazy. I'm not going to unbox it like I kind of have done with the other ones in the video. If you want to watch a nice thorough unboxing, I'll tell you the one I watched. I watched one by Credibility 6. I'll put his link in the channel description. Go and check him out. Does some great videos, and they did a really long and don't that sounds bad. Just a thorough unboxing for this set, which is a nice set for sure. But yeah, this seems like it's like a moe, a group of girls that want to save their school, so they all become an idol group. It's supposed to have some good music in it and stuff. I don't know how much I like it, but I buy everything NIS anyway, so I picked it up. I hope I will enjoy it. I do feel like watching this soon, just so I can know what it's about, I guess, since it sold out so fast. But on that point, I feel like it will definitely get reprinted. So if you haven't got a copy and you can't find one, which right now it's quite hard to find anywhere selling it, I wouldn't worry about it. Like, NIS America are a business first. Like, they're not gonna have this sell out through pre-orders and not reprint it, because that would be stupid, wouldn't it? Really, like, if something's sold that well, you don't not reprint it. So it'll get reprinted at some point. They just obviously don't. I reckon it's more that they don't have a schedule for doing that right now. Maybe the company they use to have their stuff printed is busy, given that it's coming, building up to the holiday season or something. Like, they might not have a definite date that they could, but one thing they actually haven't come out and said is they're going to reprint it, I guess, which is the one thing that would go against what I just said. But I feel like there's no doubt that they won't. So yeah, but the fact that it's sold out through pre-orders leads me to believe that there's a good chance this is one of the other shows that NIS may in the future dub. Like, I feel like Anohana and Wagnaria are two other pretty big candidates for dubbing, but this one now too. The only thing that goes against it is the fact that it's music based, and they probably won't want to dub the songs or even the struggle to get the rights to do that. So, but anyway, yeah. Next we have Sword of the Stranger. This is a Bandai Entertainment Blu-ray release. So this is really hard to get hold of now. It's long out of print, obviously, being as Bandai. I was really fortunate to get it. Like, I got it for $12.99 off eBay UK in an auction. No one outbid me. It's an absolute steal because it normally goes for about 50 here in the UK. So yeah, it's a hard release to get. But Sword of the Stranger is a really cool movie, samurai movie, done by Bones. It's almost 2 hours long, like an hour and 43 minutes. But I really enjoyed it. It's got fantastic soundtrack. The animation is absolutely beautiful. It's a story that follows a Ronin who's nameless, and a young boy who's basically the young boy. He has no family other than a dog. Like, not that that's technically family, I guess, but yeah, no other anyone else with him apart from this dog, and he hires the Ronin guy to protect him against a Chinese militant group who want to capture the boy because he has something about him that might allow a Chinese emperor to live forever. That part of it doesn't really ever explained that much, but the rest of it's really cool. Like I said, it's got great animation. It reminds me a lot of Moribito. This is like like Moribito is like fantasy. This is like definitely supposedly set at least. Like yeah, it's got its setting in the real world, like the Sengoku period of Japan and everything. Like, this is legit stuff, even with a little bit of fantasy-esque stuff that does. There's a little bit of it, I think, from what I remember, especially obviously with the guys trying to kill the boy so their emperor can live forever. But yeah, great action, beautifully animated. I don't know if it'll get picked up again by someone. Like, I felt like it should have done by now if it didn't, but yeah, if you ever see this going cheap, it's well worth buying. It's a great movie. Okay, next we have Ristorante Paradiso, which I probably butchered. or Restaurant Paradise, like an Italian name. It's set in Rome about a girl that was abandoned by her mother because her mother wanted to go and marry this man who runs this restaurant in Rome, in Italy. And all the characters are Italian, by the way. That was one thing I thought the girl and the mother were Japanese, but they're not. Like, the story just takes place in Italy. But anyway, yeah, she ends up trying to get her mum back, essentially, or like get revenge on her mum by revealing that she's her daughter or whatever. But she decides not to do that anyway at the beginning. And the funny thing is, she ends up working in the restaurant as like a trainee chef, and the it's an Otome series, like so basically all the fellow people that work in the restaurant with her are potential partner candidates, the same way like a harem might be, I guess, but slightly less so. But yeah, the Otome series, so all the guys in the show are over 50. It's like a bunch of old guys. So that kind of put me. I didn't realize that's what it was, but I ended up enjoying the series anyway. Like there was a moment in episode 2 that made me think this might not be the series for me, but that was a one-off moment. But the rest of it was kind of okay, so yeah, it's worth seeing, I guess. Next, we have Welcome to Irabu's Office. I can't remember. What's the Japanese name for this? Tramp Trap Trapeze. I can't remember. Something like that is the Japanese name for this. But anyway, it's like a early Noitomina show. Never picked up in America. I don't know why. I don't think it was ever even officially subbed by like Funimation or anything. But yeah, it's a really colourful, zany Noitomina show about a like doctor practitioner, and he helps people. Like, but it's all like crazy stuff. Like, people come in with like really weird problems and stuff, and this guy helps, and it's like super colourful, super I don't really like abstract, I guess. Like there's live action scenes in it and stuff. It's all a bit weird. Since Siren Visual put this out in Australia a long time ago, this is a Siren Visual release, in case I forgot to mention that, from Australia, obviously, on DVD. A nice slipcover and everything. The cover's really nice. But I've been wanting to get this for a long time, but I was waiting to see if NIS America would pick it up. Alas, they haven't, and I just don't think they're going to. Their recent run of licenses just leads me to believe that this isn't something that NIS are unfortunately not going to go back and get. So I decided to get the DVD release before it went out of stock everywhere, because I believe it is out of print in Australia. But yeah, this is a Welcome to Arabu's Office. I always wanted to see it. I'm glad to own it on DVD now. I'm very glad that Siren Visual at least put it out and it is available officially in English to own. So yeah, that's Welcome to Arabu's Office. And finally, much in the same way as Welcome to Arabu's Office, I have Coil, which I got in a trade. I traded them my Gundam Wing art box release, and in return, I got parts 1 and part 2 of Coil. Like I say, much like Welcome to Arabu's Office, this is another series that came out in Australia from Siren Visual, and I've been waiting for NIS America or someone alike in America to release it, and it really doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, if ever. The show is already, it's been out for a long time. It's an old show now, I guess, by anime licensing standards, if you're not discotheque. Basically, most shows from beyond 2011 are already no-goes, it seems, for most of the major companies. But anyway, yeah, always wanted to get this show in my collection. It sounds super interesting, about a group of kids in a future like where the internet is like super connected with everyone. You wear these glasses, a bit like Google Glass, I guess, that give you like a virtual reality, and you're always connected. And these group of kids that go around solving these mysteries, hacking and all that, as part of like a club that is run by one of the girls' grandmother. The art design is really nice, and damn, yeah, it's supposed to be really good. Like, it won lots of awards and got good acclaim in Japan when it was released. And yeah, it's a Madhouse series. Madhouse, one of the best studios, if not the best studio out there. When they do it right, they do it really good. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, apparently, it's just really hard to license. Like, the people that own the license in Japan just for some reason, aren't particularly willing to let other companies have it, like to release in English. And Siren Visual, like the guy that run it, had to beg the company for like 2 years like to let him license it. So yeah, just one of those things, I guess. These parts are out of print, but you can buy now a complete series release. and if you're interested in the series, I recommend importing it because it's probably never going to come out in America. So yeah, that's my pickups for the second half of August. Obviously I'll have some things coming in September already. A lot of retro stuff, so I'll be showing some of that. And a couple of new releases, I hope. I don't really have anything majorly in mind. I know I'm going to be buying something that's like Asian cinema related, so that will have to be squeezed in somewhere in between the anime. But yeah, that's the end of the August pickups video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.